Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. In today's video, we are going to be talking about grips. More specifically, vertical grips versus angled vertical grips and which one I think is more ideal. Before we get this video started, as always, there are links down in the description where you can support everything that I do on the channel. Really excited about this video because on top of the topic, I also had a little bit of a surprise, and that is going to be this shirt drop that is now live as you're watching this on the Firearm Freedom merchandise store. That's right, we got 3 new shirt designs, and we also have 1 new sticker. I'm going to show those off quick because I'm very excited, and I know if I just do a shirt launch, YouTube is probably going to censor it out of existence. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. The first one that we're going to go over is our brand new Shoot a Classic shirt. So all of my Kalash family there should really enjoy this shirt. I also will obviously have a very clear photo on the Firearm Freedom merchandise store for you guys to check out, but we have an awesome AK here with the classic look, and of course we have the OG FF logo on the back of the shirt. Love this one, great shirt. We have the spicy one, which is going to be this guy here, and underneath there you can see it wasn't written for hunting. That's kind of talking about the Second Amendment and, you know, tyranny and all that good stuff. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that one. I think this is going to be a pretty hot seller. I personally am very excited to wear it. We also have my favorite of the bunch, and this is a long time coming. A lot of folks have been asking for a hello and welcome t-shirt, and my friends, I now have it. Hello and welcome to the moon, okay? This shirt is probably my most favorite shirt out of any one that I have created so far. I absolutely love this design. I am going to wear this all of the time. Super pumped about it. Logo on the back. Finally, hello and welcome shirt. And we also dropped a new sticker, which is Lizards Run the World. This is an awesome sticker. I love it. It's just super cool. I'm getting so pumped about these freaking shirt designs. I will stop talking about them right now because the video's not about the shirts. I'll be doing launches of those later, and you guys will be seeing me wearing the shirts throughout it. But this is a little bit of a sneak peek and an official launch as you're watching this. The first link in the description, those shirts are live. I seriously appreciate, as always, you guys repping the brand. Angled vertical grips versus vertical grips. This is going to be a little bit of an interesting topic. I've been doing more of these versus videos because it's a great way for me to get out content for you guys that's not necessarily going to the range, and a lot of the time I can use some range footage that I already have. So it helps me get content in front of you guys and get it at a higher volume, and also answer a lot of questions that I always had throughout my time in the gun shop and on the channel. This is one that I think is interesting because I started completely in one camp and then wound up completely in another camp after being in the gun world for a few years. First off, what is the difference here between an AVG and a VG, right? We have an angled vertical grip, or a grip stop in this case, and then we also have a vertical grip. Now, when I started in the gun world, the angled vertical grip or grip stop was kind of like all the rage, right? It was huge. If you were going to go with any type of grip on your rifle, it was a grip stop. That was just, you know, that was the case on everything. And on top of that, it just, you know, it had the look, and with the style of shooting that a lot of folks have, it's a very comfortable grip. The main reason why we started getting grip stops and angled vertical grips was because traditional vertical grips were being phased out. People saw them in the way of gripping it traditionally, right? We used to have this kind of OG grip that a lot of folks went with, where they would grip the gun, you know, have real tight in stance like this, and they'd be gripping the vertical grip fully like that. And a lot of folks started, you know, kind of sneaking up there on the vertical grip, and they started realizing, hey, we could probably cut down on a lot of this length and a little bit of weight, so why don't we make it just a tiny little stubby grip there? It's also going to cut down on the overall profile of the gun. That was when you really started seeing folks transition to a grip stop like this. And then we also have more of an OG, an actual grip stop that is now made by True North, and that is a really cool design. It works well. It is aluminum, so it is going to be really durable when you're pushing it up against barricades and all that good stuff, and it also has a little bit of traction there on the outside. When it comes to grip stops or angled vertical grips, that would probably be my preferred. Now, a lot of what we're going to be talking about in this video is going to be grip stops and not necessarily angled vertical grips. However, I'm going to be just keeping it the AVGs simply because this also touches on the angled vertical grip as well. That just kind of, it's all encompassing in my opinion with a grip stop and a slightly angled vertical grip. It's all basically the same thing, and that's just what we are sticking with. Now there's one other thing that made grip stops big, which was the fact that on pistols for quite a while, the ATF was saying, hey, you could have a grip stop on a pistol, meaning an AR-15 pistol. Imagine if this is not a pistol, it's a rifle. But you could not have, and still cannot have, a vertical grip on a shorter barreled AR-15 that is a pistol or any other large frame pistol. You can't have a vertical grip because that makes it quote-unquote an AOW or any other weapon. For a long time, everyone, myself included, would get these grip stops and throw them on a pistol. In fact, this exact grip stop was once on this short 300 Blackout when it was a pistol, and that allowed me to still get somewhat of a grip, more control and traction on the rifle, but at the time not anger anyone at the ATF and be able to get these videos out on YouTube without any issues. I had it on all of my rifles and I really didn't have a lot of complaints. And then I switched to a vertical grip. I switched back to a vertical grip. And the first time that I started switching back to just the standard vertical grip was when I wanted to start doing clone builds, or I had other builds, specifically ARs, that were a little bit more retro, right? I had quad rails, I had fixed carry handles and other things that just, it needed a vertical grip. It just didn't look right without having a vertical grip. So I would install that on the rifle and start to run it at the range. And that's where I just really started to see truly, and this is going to ruffle some feathers, I know it is, but it's the truth, it's how I feel, that the vertical grip is superior than the grip stop in every way. That's my own personal opinion, and that's how I feel. More specifically, I think, as we're going to talk about in a little bit, kind of a combination of the two. A short, stubby vertical grip is most definitely the way. That's just the reality of the situation when it comes to control on whatever platform you have that item on. One of my favorite vertical grips to go with, this one in particular, is a Troy, but the style is my favorite, right? And it is a more classic vertical grip design. This one is aluminum. Of course, Troy as a company, not great. This is just, so happens to be a product that they make. And when it comes down to this style of vertical grip, it is one that is longer but can be shortened in half. And there's a few companies that make this. Tango Down is another one that makes a short, stubby vertical grip like this. I have a Tango Down. It's phenomenal. But this is the perfect size. And why I like the vertical grip over something like a grip stop or an angled vertical grip is because of the fact that I am able to still hold this. When I say I prefer a vertical grip, I'm not holding it like this. A lot of people that see this on a rifle, they just grab it like this, right? That's how they want to grab it. And although you could do that, the preferred method is still clamping my hand like a grip stop. And I know a lot of people are going to look at this method and say, well, Joe, why would you not go with a grip stop? You're doing kind of exactly what you would do on an angled vertical grip. That's true, but the biggest thing is this 90 degree. Now, having that 90 degree angle with the vertical grip and then also having a little bit more room down there on the bottom. If for whatever reason, especially on something like this night vision build, I need to shift my hand back a little bit to get to a pressure pad or to get to another point on the rifle, or from what I've experienced as well, switching to the non-dominant side to the other hand if I need to readjust or something and need more room, I have found myself more times than not shifting to where I need my hand to be in that situation. Can this be done with a grip stop? In a way, yes, but I've noticed it a lot when I'm comparing the two, that my hand starts to kind of slip off a little bit. It's not the end of the world, it's not huge, but I notice a difference. When I'm comparing them side by side, I notice less control, slightly less control with the grip stop, and then I switch over to a vertical grip. I did it right before this video just to make sure that I wasn't just remembering something wrong, and it's such a noticeable difference. When I pull that rifle up, do some ready ups and different dry fire drills, it is so much more controllable to me, in my opinion, with a vertical grip, and it gives me more room and it gives me a more harsh angle to just block my hand from moving at all. A lot of the concerns with vertical grips is that it's going to catch, right? It's going to catch on clothing and all that good stuff and other gear. I mean, when you're looking at the length in something like a BCM CAG grip like this is, it is a big difference. I'll give you guys that. I mean, it's sticking out a lot further on that gun than the CAG would. But then in this case, you can see with a more traditional True North grip stop, this is gonna stretch down a little bit further, right? So it's gonna give you a little bit more room, which is great. That's why the grip stop is nice. But we're not looking at a ton of difference there in overall length down on the bottom of the gun. When you are looking at, this is another benefit I see a vertical grip at, is a smaller package. So of course, we got ATF BS to deal with. That's, you know, I've made so many videos on it at this point. Just watch any of the last ones to be informed about that. But when you're looking at a grip stop on a short rail like this is where I think it also falls short. It ends up taking up a little bit more length this way. Right now, of course, there's Arisaka grip stops and other things. There's just a real tiny little spot there to get some traction on. But when it comes to a vertical grip on a short little gun like this, the control is unreal. And again, when I'm pulling this rifle up, I mean, the way that you are able to pull this rifle back into your shoulder with a vertical grip, it just is awesome. I really, really enjoy it. And then on top of that, you can use a vertical grip still no problem to press it up against the barrier. In fact, you have a better angle to press up on against the barrier, and then you have more room to block the rifle from moving on that barrier. Now, of course, if you are on a real narrow section or something like that, that might be a different story. But I think personally that there are a lot of advantages to having this. The one thing I will say when it comes to look, right, if that matters to you at all, is that I do think the look of like an original real long like grip pod or another real long vertical grip looks atrocious on most rifles. But these stubby vertical grips on most of the builds that I've used them on look phenomenal. They look great. It meshes with the rifle well, and it just looks like it's supposed to. The one positive that I will say for a grip stop is on a full-size rifle. I know it might seem weird to you guys, and maybe that's just me and my arm length or whatever, but I do feel that on a full-length rifle, when I'm really stretching my arm out far and I'm getting a little bit more of a grip in the middle of the rail, right, I actually do see a little bit of an advantage there in the grip stop. I still feel that I personally have more traction with a vertical grip, but there is a reason why on these two full-length rifles I kept a grip stop, and that is because I didn't feel that it was uncomfortable enough to actually make the switch to a vertical grip. I felt like it just was fine, it lined up well, and I do think that there is still a little bit of an advantage on a full-size rifle. The shorter you go, the more I want to have a vertical grip and not an angled vertical grip, and especially if I'm working with a carbine length rail, like I got a drop-in quad rail or something like that, it is vertical grip all day long for the control on the rifle. This is the only time that I'll leave it on, and there's still, like I said, if I had a vertical grip here, I still feel like I would probably have a little bit more traction, but, you know, the grip stop is really not terrible. I know this might seem like kind of a funny topic to do an entire video on, but there's a lot of people that ask these questions that come into the gun shop that I work at and just kind of want to know which is best. Now, a lot of this, as you've heard in this video, is going to come down to personal preference, right? It's going to come down to the build that you're doing. It's going to come down to legality, as stupid as that sounds, depending on if you have a pistol or if you have a rifle. But these are my opinions on the topic from somebody that does shoot frequently, but is not an expert by any way, shape, or form. So I hope you guys found this somewhat helpful. And if you have any other questions about this topic or anything else on the channel, or you want to see some other versus video that I have not done yet, let me know down there in the comment section. You guys know I will respond to each and every one of you. While you're down there, head up to that description, check out the links that help support the channel. And as always, stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.